Most people think of loneliness as just a feeling, something emotional that comes and goes. But modern neuroscience suggests loneliness is much more than that. It can actually change how the brain functions and how we experience the world around us. Human beings evolved as social creatures. For thousands of years, survival depended on belonging to a group. Being connected meant protection, support, and safety. Being alone often meant danger. Because of this, the brain developed systems that treat social connection as a basic human need, much like food or shelter. When that need goes unmet for a long period of time, the brain doesn't simply register sadness. It starts responding as if there is a threat. That's why loneliness can feel so powerful. When someone experiences chronic loneliness, the brain often becomes more alert to potential signs of rejection. You may find yourself overthinking conversations, analysing text messages, or assuming the worst when someone takes longer than usual to reply. A friend cancels plans. Someone seems distant. A message feels unusually short. And suddenly your mind starts creating explanations. They don't care about me. They're losing interest. I must have done something wrong. The problem is that loneliness changes perception. When we feel disconnected, the brain becomes more focused on possible social threats. Psychologists sometimes call this hypervigilance. Your brain starts looking for rejection before it happens, not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because your mind is trying to protect you from future emotional pain. Unfortunately, this often creates a vicious cycle. The more lonely people feel, the more guarded they become. The more guarded they become, the harder it becomes to connect with others. And the harder it becomes to connect, the stronger the loneliness grows. Loneliness doesn't only affect thoughts, it can affect the body as well. Research has linked chronic loneliness to increased stress hormones, disrupted sleep, fatigue, anxiety, and difficulty regulating emotions. Many people describe loneliness as feeling physically painful. They talk about a heaviness in the chest, a sense of emptiness, a deep ache that's difficult to explain. Interestingly, brain scans show that social pain and physical pain activate some of the same areas of the brain. In a very real sense, emotional isolation can hurt. This is one reason why simply telling someone to think positive rarely solves the problem. Loneliness isn't just a mindset, it's often a nervous system state. So what can you do if loneliness has become a major part of your life? The first step is understanding that loneliness is not always solved by being around more people. Many people feel lonely in crowded rooms. What the brain truly needs is meaningful connection. One genuine conversation can be more powerful than dozens of superficial interactions. Quality matters more than quantity. The second step is to stop waiting until you feel ready. One of loneliness' biggest traps is convincing you to withdraw even further. You tell yourself you'll reach out tomorrow, you'll join a group next month, you'll reconnect when you're feeling better. But connection is often what helps you feel better in the first place. Small actions matter. A message, a phone call, a conversation with a colleague, joining a hobby group, volunteering. These small moments teach your brain something important. People can be safe. The third step is learning to challenge loneliness-driven thoughts. When the brain expects rejection, it often interprets neutral situations negatively. Sometimes people are busy, sometimes they're distracted, sometimes they simply have their own struggles. Not every delayed reply is rejection. Not every cancelled plan is abandonment. Learning to pause before believing every fearful thought can reduce loneliness' grip on your life. Finally, build connection intentionally. Meaningful relationships rarely appear overnight. They grow through repeated interactions, shared experiences, trust, and consistency. The good news is that the brain remains adaptable throughout life. Just as loneliness can shape the brain, connection can reshape it. Every positive interaction becomes evidence. Evidence that people can be trusted. Evidence that belonging is possible. Evidence that you're not as alone as your mind sometimes tells you. Healing loneliness is not about becoming more popular. It's about creating genuine human connection. And sometimes, one meaningful relationship is enough to start changing the way your brain sees the world. Because while loneliness can physically change the brain, connection can change it too. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Like, comment, and turn on the bell. Please subscribe.